2 years ago at graduation, I articulated a position for the school and an aspiration for the school that we would be a small school, but a small school that does big things. This is what my daughter, after she saw this, said is one buff pickle. The reality of it is, when you look at what we're doing, we are carrying much more weight than anybody could ever legitimately expect or imagine for a school our size. Think about it. We are almost single-handedly carrying the process of developing growth strategies for urban entrepreneurs and distressed communities, partnered with our good friends at Goldman Sachs, representing a in this case, a $500 million commitment. And we've now been invited to partner with them with their women's program in the rest of the world, now operating in 38 economies. And by the way, we're not, quote, participating in 10,000 small businesses. We're the glue that puts this thing together. We have full-time people working on it. It's new conceptual development. It's new program development. We're training community college faculty. We're building mentorships in these communities. It's nothing short of extraordinary when you think about the impact that this small school can have. We're helping to design a new school, the Abu Dhabi School of Management in Abu Dhabi. And obviously that will be the first institution of management dedicated to entrepreneurship in the Gulf Coast community. A great opportunity for us to both learn and partner in a very different environment to build a very different kind of educational model to support what will end up being a very different kind of entrepreneurship than those that we're traditionally used to here. We'll be doing the same thing in other parts of the world as we establish more partnerships that lead to new projects and new schools that we call BOTS projects. These are the things that your school is doing day in and day out externally from its programs. Then we have plenty of people here who can talk your ears off about the work that undergraduates and graduate students are doing in Ghana, the work that 2 of our students in setting up an entrepreneurship center in Rwanda, the number of staff and faculty and students and alumni who now go to Ghana in the summertime and in January to run entrepreneurship competitions, the likes of which happen almost nowhere else in the world. And we want more of you to see it and experience it and come along for the ride so that you can understand I'm not engaging in hyperbole. This is a small school that has developed powerful and lasting partnerships that are dedicated to doing big things. We are figuring out that leverage equation, and we're going to continue to get better and better and better at it for one very simple reason. A quick Steve Jobs slide. The reason we're here is to make a dent in the universe. If you accept the basic proposition that we talked about before, about the power of entrepreneurial activity to stimulate economic and social value creation, the likes of which we've never seen, things are pretty good here at Babson. Arrogantly enough, we can actually say we're in the business of conquering new worlds. Our faculty 3 years ago said not just new worlds, but better worlds. When our faculty was the second school in the United States to endorse the UN Principles for Responsible Management Education. When our faculty last month published, in the context of the new entrepreneurial leader, a model that is explicit about managing with a framework they call SEERS that goes managing beyond traditional economic outcomes, that recognizes not only the entrepreneurial opportunity, but in fact, the moral responsibility to build organizations that can simultaneously address social, economic, environmental, and sustainability-related outcomes. Now, that requires enormous amounts of new conceptual framework, enormous amounts of practice, enormous amounts of efforts in all sorts of ways. But the faculty and the students and the staff of this small school don't shrink from the magnitude of that task. They relish it. They relish it. You will see Babson flags in places you can only imagine. And I'm sure when I'm up here next year, we'll be talking about 5 or 6 other things that our community is engaged in that we could never have imagined a year ago.